Welcome to the video looking at how to find the area of composite shapes. But firstly, let's have a look at some simple shapes and how to do their area. And I'll include this in the classwork. So, area deals with two dimensions, so we're finding the amount of space, surface, inside. And for a rectangle, the formula is area is length times width, or longer side times the shorter side. 66 times 25, area of a rectangle, 1650. Triangle, two dimensions, base and height. And we multiply them, but this time only half. So half times the base times the height. Please remember the triangle height is measured at right angles from the base. So we need a base, we've got a right angle, and there's our height. This case, half times 52 times 48, or base times height divided by 2, same thing. 52 times 48 divided by 2 gives you the same answer, 1248. Parallelogram, parallel sides, we need again a height, because that's the formula. Base times the height, and again the height is measured at right angles from the base. So 95 times 50 for this example gives you 4750. So a parallelogram, find the right angle height, and then just multiply that times the base. Trapezium, where we have a few elements. We have an A and a B and a H. Now, don't get confused by the formula that looks a bit complicated, because all that is for A and B are the two sides that are parallel, top and bottom. So we add those two together. Now it doesn't matter if the trapezium is on its side. A and B are the two sides that are parallel. So add those two sides together. So adding first. So that's 85 plus 47. Then it's got half times those two sides added times the height. And again, the height is measured at right angles from the base. So there's our height. So it's half times these two sides added times the height. And I've got it here. When you add 85 and 47, you get 132. Half times 132 times 35. Circles. Area of a circle. So this is all this surface here is calculated by pi r squared, or pi times r times r. And it's very important that you have what the radius, which is measured from the center to the circumference, the outside. That's the radius. Don't fall into the trap of using the diameter, which is twice that all the way across. It must be just the radius. So for this example, the area is pi times 5.2 times 5.2. And there's our answer. And then for little bits of a circle, this area here, because it's not a whole circle, we need just a fraction of it. And the fraction we get from the angle. So we've got our 80 degrees inside the shape, and we make that into a fraction, 80 over 360, because 360 is the total circle. And again, just this formula again, times pi times r times r. And there's our answer. Okay, let's have a look at what the textbook says. Area of composite shapes. Now there are two types of composite shapes. One's where the shapes are added together, like this one, and this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. Shapes are put together. And there are one type of composite shape. The other type is where we have a gap somewhere. and it's asking for the area of the shaded part. So there's our two types. One where we have bits added and ones where we have bits taken away. So a composite shape for this one, we add two areas or more than two areas. For this one we have a rectangle, so you find the area of the rectangle, and this we have a triangle, so you find the area of this triangle. You'll need to just calculate a little bit what this length is, because that's our base and there's our height, and then you add two together. Here we have a few triangles put together. For each one you work out what the base is, then you find the right angle to work out what the height is, and that's half that, and then just add them together. Here we have two rectangles added together. It hasn't got a dotted line this time, but it's easy if you just use this one across here. So you find the area of this rectangle, longer side times shorter side, and add to it the area of this rectangle, longer side times shorter side. So for shapes that have bits added, you find the area of each bit and then add them up. This one we take away. So a square on the outside first, you find the area of the outside shape. And this is a square 16 by 16. Then you take away from that the area of the inside shape. Here's some more of the two types. We have this shape here, which has a rectangle with two triangles added. This one here is one where the bit has been taken away. So you find the area of the outside shape, the triangle, half the base times the height, and then take away this square area in the middle. Here we have some more. We have a square with a semicircle, rectangle with a quadrant, quarter of a circle. This one here we have 4 corners, each of them made up of quarter of a circle. And in the middle we have quite a few shapes. Let's have a look at this one just to show you how to work this one out. So you need to work out the area of each corner, 4 quarters of a circle. Then you'll need to split up the middle into how many shapes you think are necessary and add them all up, remembering what the dimensions are of the radius here and the total length across. So that's that shape there. What I'd do is to split it across here, and we know that's the rectangle, so that'll be 7. You just need to think carefully about, well, what is the distance from there to there? Remembering that dotted line is 7, and so is that one. And then do the same for this one, which will be the same as that. So we have 4 shapes the same, plus that would be a square in the middle. And then we have two circles, outside circle area, then you take away the area of the middle circle. And lastly, we have a rectangle on the outside, so we're taking away the area of the outside shape, and we take away the area of this circle. Be careful here because that's the diameter, not the radius, and same that one. So our outside area, take away the area of the inside circle. Thank you.